On Friday, the Berlin charter of the CDU, the Christian Democratic Union, our Chancellor's party, took another really good shot at embarrassing themselves. They asked their members how they feel about legalizing same-sex marriage in Germany. And surprise, they voted against it. 45% were opposing and 35% were supporting gay marriage. But the poll itself shows a massive lack of understanding how our political system actually works. Dear CDU people, this is not a matter of your fucking last century opinion. It's not a matter of democracy at all. When it comes to granting rights in an exclusive way, which is not allowing same-sex marriages, you really have to have a really good reason to do so. Our constitution leaves very little room for exceptions there. And as far as I can tell, there's no rational argument against same-sex marriage, not even a bad one. The eingetragene Lebenspartnerschaft, which is the German version of same-sex marriage, still have discrimination in terms of adoption rights, in terms of tax advantages and stuff like that. And this is where we get to the core. So the reason these people want to keep same-sex marriage banned is that they are not forced to grant these rights to same-sex couples. Some of them of course argue in a religious way. They refer to Christianity or other utter nonsense, but the vast majority, like our Chancellor, completely lacks an explanation. They don't openly refer to Christianity or anything else. If you ask them, they will have arguments like, well, I think a child needs a mother and a father. Well, I guess then we should take all children out of single-parent households. Another one is we, the Germans, are already declining in numbers, so we shouldn't push that process even further. As if homosexual people lacking the opportunity of marriage would say, oh yeah, well fuck it, then I'm heterosexual now. What are these people thinking? Every single argument these people bring to the table can be smashed in one sentence, but that shows the real monster behind it. They try to come up with a good argument so fiercely and have so many bad ones, it's so obvious that they lack a reason at all. And this just means one thing. They are just plainly homophobic. And I already hear them scream, not everybody who has concerns about gay marriage is a homophobic. Yes they are, because all of these concerns, so-called concerns, are made up, imaginary, irrational, defensive bullshit. We already have a legal opportunity to become husband and wife. Why shouldn't they be allowed to call it marriage? Even if discrimination would be completely abolished, as is promised by the way. You all know the reason. It's called homophobia. But as I said before, this is luckily not a matter of belief or political opinion. It's a constitutional matter. Which means they can talk smack as long as they want, doesn't change shit to the principles of equality. This decision will not ultimately be made in Parliament. The Constitutional Court will decide on that matter. And they frankly have to decide in favor of same-sex marriage. Even though they didn't in the past. So fuck you CDU from Berlin, you just embarrassed yourself and our Chancellor and your whole party and all conservative forces in the country. And I really hope that most of your children turn out to be gay. That's it on the matter. This is Neopolimatrix from Neopolimatrix. Subscribe!